Hi, I'm Caryn Dugan. Thanks for joining me. Today we're making one of my favorite plant-based dishes. I've been making it for years now. It's a pumpkin and black bean enchilada. It's really pretty easy and I really hope that it'll be one of your favorites too. Okay, so to a hot skillet, we are going to add everything in this bowl. See, it's pretty easy. We're using black beans, frozen defrosted spinach, 1 can of pumpkin puree, and some sweet corn or just regular roasted corn, whatever kind of corn you like. And then in the middle here we have a 4-ounce can of those chopped up chilies that you can find by a lot of the Mexican foods in any of your grocery stores. Just dump that can right in there. So we already have a lot of colors going on. It's very pretty, isn't it? Okay, so let's put this into our skillet. Everything. So you'll need a pretty big skillet, or you can use a Dutch oven. And this is just really essentially going to be the middle of our enchilada, or the filling, I should say. And everything's going to get nice and warm, and then we will add a few more flavors and put it in the oven. Now get everything really well mixed. It'll take a few minutes, but just stay on top of it. You don't want this to start sticking. And if it does start to stick, just add just a tablespoon or so of water, just to get things moving around some more. Okay, yeah. You can hear it sizzling. Oh, it's starting to smell delicious. Okay, a couple jumpers. Now, got things pretty well mixed, and the pan is heating up nicely. So as all of the ingredients start to really warm up, heat up, it'll be a lot easier to get in there and mash the beans. Now that's really what you want also, because you want this, you're not looking for really a puree, but the beans will create a nice kind of binder and help everything really stick together once they're in the tortillas. So just take the back of a fork, and as everything starts to heat up, you'll see just how easy those little black beans start to mash down. And then everything almost becomes just one nice big mess. A beautiful mess, if you will. A tasty, tasty Mexican mess. And this is a great way also to get your greens in. I'm a big fan of obviously getting your greens in every day, but I'm not so much of a salad person. Sure, I like my salads, but I don't really think that it's about, especially as we get into the cooler months, I don't think it's that important to get a salad in every day if that's really not your thing, right? So during the summer it's easier to do because they're nice and cooling. But in the winter, you know, you want comfort food most of the time. So however you can get your greens in, I say get it. And the way that I like to get my greens in is hide them or just incorporate them into so many of my dishes. So enchiladas, yes. If I'm making burgers, sometimes I'll put some greens in there. Any kind of soup or stew or chili, anything like that. There's no reason you should not be adding your greens in there. Okay, I'm gonna let this cook down for a few more minutes and I'm gonna keep mashing. And then, actually what I can do now, as I'm mashing and incorporating all of our ingredients, I'm gonna add in the smoked paprika. Lots of flavor in there. A little bit of heat. You certainly don't have to, but I think that it tastes really great here. You can add in a little Tabasco if you want to. Your favorite hot sauce. I'm adding red chili peppers. and a little bit of garlic powder. Really flavor this sucker up. And some freshly ground pepper. Okay, I think it might call for a little bit of salt too. That's up to you. During the cooking process, I really like to add just a little bit of salt to help all the flavors bloom. If you're somebody who's just really is just not wanting to add any sodium to your food, that's a-okay. Okay. I don't really so much worry about sodium in my foods or in my diet because I'm very hydrated, drink water all day long, but I also eat a lot of fiber. Now, fiber is only found in plants, and the only thing I eat is plants. So I'm eating about probably 70 to 80 grams of fiber a day. When people come into the Center for Plant-Based Living and they're wanting to explore a plant-based diet or just kind of wonder how to add more plants to their plate, and we talk about fiber and the importance of fiber, the average American gets about 12 to 15 grams a day. I try to get my newbies up to about 40 grams a day, and that just means adding more plants to your plate because you're not going to find fiber in any animal products ever. Okay, so this smells and really probably tastes pretty good too. Okay, you can see how well incorporated all of this is. Yeah, that's nice. Smells delicious. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little bit of room here. And to this little casserole dish, I'm gonna add a little bit of our salsa verde. So green salsa, tomatillos. You can use red salsa or more of a traditional salsa if you'd like, but I really like this green salsa. And then, let's see here. We're gonna wrap these up. Now I'm using corn tortillas instead of whole wheat tortillas. Corn tortillas are a little bit tougher, or they tend to break a little bit more often than a flour tortilla. But I really like the corn tortillas because there's not a lot of ingredients, so they're a little bit more pure. When you buy a corn tortilla, please look at your label. You want to make sure that the only ingredients are masa or corn and a trace of lime, and that trace of lime is going to help with the preservative. So really just make sure that it's just those two ingredients. Doesn't matter the brand, it's totally up to you. So, and they're also a lot less calories. Now, if you want to make sure that they don't, or you have a better chance of them not breaking, put them in the microwave inside of a clean and damp kitchen towel. And I nuked these suckers for about 45 seconds, and I kept them wrapped in that towel so they become very flexible. Now they still may break every once in a while, but everything's going to be in your casserole dish or in your little baking dish. And if they come apart, they come apart. That's okay. Not the end of the world. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of our mixture. Let's see, I'll take one tortilla at a time. And a heaping, probably 2 tablespoons there, and just wrap it up. You don't need to pull in the ends or anything. And then with the seal side down, I'm going to put this in our dish. So you'll just repeat that over and over until you are all out of mixture or tortillas, whichever comes first. And then I'm going to put more of our salsa on top and stick it in the oven. And I have a 350 oven, and let me check my cheater notes. 350 for, I should know this. Yes, 25 minutes. Okay, 25 minutes. And then while this is baking, I'm going to show you how to make a really great cream sauce that we'll put over these. It's going to be awesome. All right, I'll see you in a few minutes with that cheese sauce, or that cream sauce. All right, take a look at that. It looks delicious. Now the only thing it needs is the cream sauce. So let's get that on there. Then we're going to pop this back into the oven for about another 5 minutes or so and get the topping nice and brown, and then also grab some garnish. So to a blender, we're going to add 1.5 cups of cashews. Now I have a high-speed blender, so I don't really need to soak the cashews, but if you have if you don't have a high-speed blender, go ahead and soak your cashews for about an hour or so and then drain them off. It just helps everything become a little bit more creamy. Now we're going to add some nutritional yeast, and nutritional yeast is a non-leavening yeast, so don't put it in your baked goods. You'll be very disappointed. It offers a nice, cheesy, nutty flavor. So whenever you're making a non-dairy cheese or you're looking for recipes, probably about 95–99% of the time you're going to see this nutritional yeast as one of the ingredients. Okay, we're going to add, and I just eye this. So you can make it less cheesy if you don't want quite so much nutritional yeast, and of course the opposite is true as well. If you want more cheesy, add more cheese. Well, you know, nutritional yeast. And this is juice of 1/2 lemon. It'll give it a nice brightness because there's a lot of fat in those cashews. So you want to really break it up and add some brightness with our lemon. We're going to add a little bit of garlic powder, granulated garlic if you have it, or a couple of fresh garlic cloves, and a pinch of salt. Alrighty, let's get this whirling, and then we'll add some water. Now the thickness is going to be up to you. As this cools down, if you have extra and you keep it in the refrigerator, it will firm up. So just know that you might want to keep it a little bit on the thin side because those cashews really do help thicken everything up as it cools down. Now also, if you want to pull back on a little bit of the fat, actually probably a lot of the fat, you can sub out the white beans, or I'm sorry, you can sub out the cashews for white beans, white cannellini beans. Now it won't have that really thick, really smoothness. It'll be nice and creamy, but it won't be quite as smooth because the fat in those beans, or the fat in those nuts really do create a magical kind of texture. Another thing you could do if you want to go 50-50, you could take out half of the nuts and add in half for beans. So play around with it if you choose to pull back on some of the fat and calories. I totally understand that. Okay, let's get going. Woo! How this looks. We want it nice. Oh yes, that is nice and creamy. Very creamy. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a nice drizzle. I'm not going to coat the whole thing because I really want to taste the rest of those ingredients as well. Just make sure that almost every bite has a little bit of this. Okay. Now there's a couple of things. You can just put this back in the oven for about 5 minutes, but I think that tonight I'm going to hit broil and let it just start to get a little brown up there too. So I'm going to put this in the oven just for a couple of minutes, get our garnishes ready, and then I'll be right back. I just got our enchiladas out of the oven, and you know what, I think I'm going to bring these up to you so you can see that they've charred just a little bit. That cheese is charred just a little bit. I just hit it with the broiler for about 90 seconds or so. It smells so good. All right. Now, what I like to put on top of these, just as a garnish, is some green onion. Kind of just snip off a little bit. These are from the garden out in front of the shop. And some raw pumpkin seeds. These are from Fresh Time. You can get them, I think, Fresh Time. You can get them just about anywhere. And sometimes I like to also put some sliced avocado on there as well. But I think just tonight this is good because we have enough fat. I didn't cut it all with the white beans, so we have enough fat going on with our cheese, and we have the texture, and we definitely have enough green in there. Look at all that. So I am ready to dig in. Thank you very much. Yes, okay. And this is a little bit smaller one. So we have about 6 little enchiladas in here. And it's really, really hot. So if you want this to sit for a few minutes, if you can stand it, then it will firm up even more. Yeah, this is gonna split on me, but it will firm up even more, and you'll get a full one out on your spatula. I promise you, I've done it plenty of times. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, that is just, woo! You can see the steam. All right, I hope you love this as much as I do, as much as I have over the years, and have a great time making it. Enjoy with your friends, and I will see you next time. Cheers.